World NGO Day is marked on the 27th of February every year to celebrate and commemorate NGOs and collaborate with one another. Inyatera held an open day at its civil society hub and encouraged guests to share their stories. We were humbled and inspired by the incredible work they do and hope you will be equally motivated and encouraged.
I'm Laeeq Toffar. I'm the founder of the Laeeq Toffar Foundation. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Delft. I was born and raised in Delft, so I witnessed the need of the community and I have an understanding to what it is to have nothing, that I would not want someone else to experience that, and that was the driving force of the establishment of this organization. I knew what the community needed. I saw the social ills and the gaps where children needed help the most. I started the organization between 16 and 17 years old. I was grade 10 and COVID hit, and I was at home for that most of that year. And I always wanted to give back to my community, and that was the perfect time to start. And I started, I helped, and in the in the process, I gained a lot of on-ground experience of what it is running an organization, and slowly but surely, I started doing the documents and finding out how what it is running an organization, the financial governance, the board, all of the fine details of an organization. And on the 9th of September 2020, I successfully registered the organization, and we've been operating ever since. Initially, when we started with a feeding program, with one feeding program feeding 100 children. And after then, we realized that there's a much bigger need in our community of Delft, and we extended, with the help of our donors and people that supported the organization, we've extended our work to numerous communities around the Cape Flats within Delft, as far as Toos River, Bonteheuwel, Zeekoevlei, Wellington, Bellard, different areas. And we supported them with resources to cook and prepare meals for vulnerable children and adults in need of a nutritional meal. But slowly we realized how is this contributing long term? Yes, we are reaching a lot of people, but what long term impact we're seeing? Food helps now, but what about tomorrow? The person is in the same situation. And that was the driving force for our new projects and where we are currently now. But collaboration is very key for our organization. Through collaborating with other NPOs and organizations and our donors, we were able to reach over 100,000 people within 2 years, and that is cooked meals beside food hampers and other projects that we have run. That is purely the amount of meals that we've been able to serve since we opened outdoors as a young organization with no funding, only dependent on fundraising and in-kind donations from our donors. Back in 2022, we sat down and we worked on a strategic plan, and my vision was, what is it that this organization must do for the next 5 years, 2 years, or 3 years? And I wanted a program that worked with children and young teenagers, and we drafted our LTF Kids program at the next Indawayeto, that's run in collaboration with another organization. So the project focuses on working with vulnerable children between the ages of 8 to 12 years old. We offer them with academic support by the means of an after school program for foundation phase and intermediate phase learners. We give them psychosocial support and some recreational activities such as arts and crafts. We do have our LTF Teens at the next Indawayeto as well, that works with vulnerable young teenage boys and girls between the ages of 13 and 18. We offer and we aim to provide them with a safe environment for safe peer engagement and learning and engaging with one another in a safe setting outside their home environment. The project also offers them with an academic support by the means of an after-school program, psychosocial support, because many of the kids that we work with go through trauma. It was needed for us to focus on psychosocial support as well. We offer them with life skills workshops and mentorship, environmental awareness. And so we run a 5-day program, of which we use 4 days for academic support and one day we use for a recreational activity afternoon for them to unwind. But all of our activities are targeted through healing, through art. So whether it is developing fine motor skills, developing concentration, that sort of thing. So it's very planned and structured. We're still continuing with our feeding in the community. We have currently 4 community kitchens. We've scaled it down a bit because we're not certain if it's something that we want to do long term, but the need is still there, so we didn't want to close it down immediately. So we are currently supporting 4 organizations in Delft, community kitchens in Delft, that's been doing it for much longer than us, but they only lack the resources, and we had the resources and we supported them with that, so they cook meals for the kids in the community. That is our 3 main projects. Then we have our one sub project, our LTF bracelet project, where we empower young old women in the community. We gather them and they make bracelets. We sell it to the public and we pay them a little stipend, and we use the profits to sustain the work that we do. In a nutshell.
It's a really inspiring story. And apart from the need in the community, what else keeps you going with this?
Um, what else keeps me going is the fact that there's a need for our organization out there and that children look forward to coming to our programs. You build a relationship with the community besides just giving them a meal or offering them a service. It's about the relationship, and that keeps me going as a person. And whether it is, I was saying to the team, one child that we impact through this program, seeing someone leave with that hope um, reminds you that the work that you are doing is important, and that is what keeps me going.
How are you funded?
We don't receive any funding for the work that we are doing, all of the projects that we mentioned. We're dependent on fundraising, which is done internally with our board and the volunteers and people that are involved with the organization. So we fundraise all of the funds, and for the past financial year, over 80% of our funds was fundraised to sustain the projects that we are currently running or what we did in the past financial year.